penis. The penis. There you go. Hey there, friends. Hey there, and welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's Sunday, which means that you're getting a piggy stream. I'm doing this a little bit earlier than usual. I do these at 12 on Sundays and Sundays. This is how we're starting. 12 on Sundays and Wednesdays as well. And the purpose of these is various. I enjoy doing these live streams, and I enjoy watching them back. I enjoy looking through them afterwards because sometimes I could scour through the video and find a topic for maybe a video, maybe do some sort of future video just based on something that someone said. So I like to scour them, and also I happen to have a massive ego. So when it comes to watching my own stuff, obviously I'm gonna go through and watch my stuff with a little bit of a fine-tooth comb. But we're here on this glorious Sunday, right? It's the Lord's Day. It's also on I guess the first stream of No Nut November. I don't know if I did one on Wednesday, but at least the first stream that I'm addressing No Nut November, which is hard. It's difficult. I don't understand where the concept came from. But as you could imagine from the actual title of this particular stream, it's difficult with those around. Those, if you're not familiar, are apple bottom jeans. And make sure that this is as it should be. Oh, my fucking God. Oh, my fucking God. You see, that was a minor power outage that we had. A little bit of a minor kerfluffle there, I would say. And I don't know why. Of course, during the stream, that's when I decided to have a minor power outage. Let's see if it's still live. Is this live? Okay, I'm pressing this. Okay, I seem to be looking at myself live. I don't know. I don't know if I'm still around. Let's see. I thought it was my phone. No, it was definitely not any phones in particular. It was a power outage that just took place suddenly and rapidly, turning everything off. Turning everything off for a little second here. And it seems to have come back. I love it. I love it. I feel like, honestly, little things like that are going to be why there's going to be a Netflix documentary about my life in maybe 10 years. Little things like that. Because it's one thing and then it snowballs. That's what tends to happen. It snowballs into other things. You still can't see me. I could see myself. So I'm seeing what the stream is outputting. And I could definitely see myself. So it should have fixed it. But it's just a little glitch. As I was going to mention before that unfortunate tragedy is that it's No Nut November. Right? You might recognize this particular holiday that's throughout the entirety of the month as a time when men retain their semen, and it's difficult because of things like this. I don't know if you recall this particular fashion trend. I don't think it ever took off, but I saw one of these unironically while doing groceries. This is boots. The song refers to boots with the fur and apple bottom jeans. Apple bottom jeans. So this is what I saw in person recently. And it's really hard. It's really hard to get through No Nut November with people wearing things like this out in public because you just want to shark them. I'm going to leave it up to you to look up what sharking is individually, right? I'm not really, I don't think this is the stream for me to show you what sharking is or for you to find out what sharking is. At least me telling you. It's something you should find on your own. But it makes me want to shark it. It makes me want to shark the individual wearing these apple bottom jeans. And I saw these unironically worn grocery shopping, which is another mess. It's another mess. I feel like there's nothing that we do as a society normally. But there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. Penguin Magic sent me these playing cards, right? They sent me these, I believe, a couple days ago. I still have to respond to the email because I'm a terrible person that you send stuff to. But here is the decks, right? I don't know if they've come out yet. So that might be something that I shouldn't show. But they're not paying me, so I could show it if they sent it to me, right? So it's not really a crazy thing. But they sent me both of these decks. And one is the Roasters, which has me a little bit weirded out because I thought there was another deck already called the Roasters. And I don't think these are in association with those. And then you also have these, which are some gingerbread playing cards. I wish that I took up a cooler hobby. I wish that I took up a cooler hobby, because had I taken up like, videography, or had I taken up photography, I'd be getting sent cool shit. I'd be getting sent like, oh, here's a flash that you could use. Here's a light. Here's a lens, right? I get sent cards with roasters. This is what I get sent: playing cards with roasters written on them, and they're kind of interesting. But I rather get like a vibrator, something cool, something techie, right? Instead, I get cards with coffee on them, right? Instead, I get cards with coffee. So let me see if I can zoom in to this using my technology here. But you can't. Of course, when the camera reset, it moved the focus. The focus was in my face. Now it's here. But look at that. I'm not a fan. I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of getting sent playing cards on a normal basis. But I guess that's the life I chose, being a virgin magician. Unfortunately, that's the life that I chose. I could have picked another thing. I could have maybe gone into other things. I have other hobbies, other things that I could have gotten into as far as the channel. Let's see. What's your worst, most overpriced piece of shit deck that you've ever bought? I've never bought a deck of playing cards that's overpriced, because I don't buy playing cards. I've been sent overpriced playing cards. I've been sent grossly overpriced playing cards. Daniel gave me a couple of these Anyone Worldwide decks that are now selling for God knows how much. I believe Gentleman Wake, Omar's deck, his is pretty expensive on eBay, so that could be considered a very every deck to me is overpriced, right? Every deck that's sold for more than I think I would say $10 is overpriced. And mind you, I'm probably going to sell mine for $10 to $12, but I think any deck is overpriced in that capacity, because what is this? What am I getting? I'm getting playing cards. I'm getting 52 cards, right? So why would I pay $30 for a deck that doesn't do anything? I get if it's like a deck that does something cool. Maybe the corners are like somewhat like edge. No. But for playing cards. So this is probably going to be one of the reasons on the documentary 10 years from now on Netflix about my life. When they go, oh, look, he was a short YouTuber. He did all the, and playing cards was one of the reasons he listed in his manifesto for taking out his what do you call this? His anger on an innocent group of children. So it says, grass is always greener on the other side. You get free stuff from Penguin. Yeah, I do. I appreciate it. I will send him a nice appreciative email back saying, hey, man, thank you for sending that. Hey, dude, thank you for sending these playing cards. Thank you for sending these over. And these are, you know what? I probably would have been a little bit less harsh on this if they smelled like coffee, right? Instead, they smell like a factory. I was gonna say like an Asian factory, but I don't think they're made they're made here in Erlanger. So, but that would have been a nice thing, right? Had they been a nice coffee scent, I'm sure it would have probably eventually smelled like shit. But at least when you open a deck, have a nice little aroma, make it a whole sensory experience, right? That's what's gonna be with my cards. I'm gonna personally queef on each and every single deck of playing cards that I'm gonna send out to everyone. So they're all going to be touched by me, especially because I'm going to do the shipping, I believe, myself. So each deck is going to touch these dirty, disgusting hands, each and every single box, eventually. And I think we're making some progress to doing that fairly soon. So hopefully more info on that. My dude, I'm into Bali songs, and I don't get shit. Cards are cool, though. Do drugs. Be better. I bought dice that cost $99 made from crystal, so I have no opinion on your card price. Yeah, I guess. But then you become part of that whole crystal crew, right? There's all these girls. I know a couple that are like crystal girls, that they're there with their trying to cleanse their chakras with rose quartz. And then they tell me, no, you can't just... they laugh at me like I'm the retard, by the way. But it's like, no, you can't just use a stone. You have to charge it. I didn't rate. Hold up. I hope this is the right one. Royce. Yeah. Okay. I'm the retard because I didn't charge the crystal in the moonlight. So you're supposed to take them out. You're supposed to put them in a bowl of water and charge them underneath the moonlight, and then they could be used. But until then, they're useless essentially. Can you have an option when you're buying your deck for you to sign it? Yeah, I don't understand, or I don't know why anybody would want that. My signature is not really I'd ruin the deck probably. That's what I would do. Every time Danny had an option when we're selling bin wangs, he's like, "Oh man, if they could if I have an option for you to sign the deck if they want to, right?" And I would just write like dick jokes on them. So yeah, I could do that. I could definitely do that. They're gonna be touching. They're gonna be touching these hands. Let's see, bro. Crystal girls are hot. No, listen, man. I'm on that side too. All right, I'm on that side too. I was literally on Amazon looking for crystals just to be able to just have that on you. Imagine, right? You find the right girl and you're like, oh, hold up. Okay. All right, now I'm good. One of these. Just all right. Now I'm ready to talk to you. And then she's gonna be impressed. She's gonna be very impressed. Let's see. Sorry, let me go through this. Okay, so I want to start off by saying that I had I saw those jeans from the Boots with the Fur that were alluded to in that Boots with the Fur video, the apple bottom jeans in public, and I don't know what to do with that information. I honestly don't know what to do with that information because what world are we living in where I could see that in public, unironically worn by a slightly I would say overweight Latin American woman? Scary. Scary prospect, my friend. So that's why the title of this video happens to be Boots with the Fur, because it's in reference to the song, because I saw the jeans. You see, it's all the circle of life. I'm not just here doing things by accident. Everything is calculated up here, right? People think, oh, you said this. Here's this thing you said in a video, right? As if I didn't know that I said it in the video. I know what I say, all right? Everything is calculated up here. So don't think that you're going to catch me slipping. Can't catch me slipping. All right, I'm too low to the ground to slip. What's up with ham radio? Is it gone? No. Well, yeah, I'm always looking for a new producer / sidekick because honestly, I'd rather make out with my dad than have ham radio. But from my understanding, on Wednesday's stream, we're going to have what is ham radio technically. So Daniel's going to be here. We're going to do it from here, but he's going to be the producer in charge, and we're gonna do what is a ham radio put on my channel. Right, that's gonna be on Wednesday, and I'm not looking forward to that because obviously I could do things faster myself. I've realized that I don't need Daniel to be here as the producer. I could just do it myself. All this time I'm like, oh hey, can you look this up? Because that's the standard podcast aesthetic. Right, that's the standard podcast aesthetic, but it takes him longer to look stuff up. I could just do it quickly. I could just yeet in there, and I could do the transitions and do the overlays and do all the stuff. So it's not really needed, right? But unfortunately, that's the nature of the show. The banter as well, right? The banter, which again, I rather make out with my dad. Surprised you aren't on a watch list of all the school shooter jokes you make. Well, I think the reason for that is because they're not jokes. Well, they are jokes because the jokes the jokes alone are enough to put you on a list. So ignore that. I would have cut this off had I had the ability to edit this stream, just because I don't want to make it seem on the live stream like I'm not funny. So I need to chop off all the parts where I'm not necessarily funny, or I could have refined the joke a little bit better. Okay, so hold up. I do have a list of things that I do want to go through as to the retardation that's taking place in the planet. But the Penguin Magic cards, these are ones they sent. Let me see. I didn't show these here. But I get sent cards all the time from different places. Penguin is the only one that actually send me emails explaining them. And they go, here, man, here are some playing cards. So these are, I guess, ones that are coming out during Christmas time. We're too pushy with Thanksgiving, I believe. When it comes to October, we have the end and Halloween, and then we just skyrocket. We just skyrocket like we 9/11. We 9/11 into Christmas, and we ignore Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving is fire. We go through, you go to your family's house. You have a lot of food. You have some Bud Lights. You know what I'm saying? You put a little thing in the Bud Lights. Maybe have some family smoke, some family cigars. But no, we skip right through that and right into Christmas. Why? Because of capitalism. Because of capitalism. All right? All this time you thought that I was making jokes against socialism and communism and all that stuff because I'm a fan of capitalism. No, my friends, I'm progressive. That's me not trying to have YouTube get rid of me. It says Danny's going places. He's too big now. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? That would be a fun twist, right? That would be a fun twist of things. If Danny I'm the one that always makes the jokes as to Danny leaving the show. Like, oh, it'd be great if Danny's gone, because I'd finally be happy doing ham radios. But then he big leagues me and he joins another podcast. That'd be so much funnier. I think that would be the best scenario. I was like, no, dude, listen, I'm sorry about ham radio, man, but I got recruited by the Magic guys. I got recruited by I'm trying to think of Magic related podcasts. I can't imagine talking about Magic for 2 hours, 3 hours on a podcast. I really can't, because like I get it, right? We could talk about Magic. You get some questions on Magic, and I get in there, and then we talk with nitty gritty. But that for a prolonged period of time just makes me want to get an audit. It makes me want to go and personally go to the IRS and request an audit and go through it sexually. You could do it yourself, but the magic of the show was your disdain for the production skills. The bickering was hilarious, right? Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of what I guess people enjoyed watching. Me getting angry, and Danny saying, no, it's a joke, dude. It's just a character, man. I'm playing a character. It's not, because the character goes through into real life. So the character happens to manifest itself in real life. So it's not a fucking character. It's him. It's him. Danny joins Joe Rogan and H3 podcast, leaving you behind, pretending it doesn't know you exist. Yeah, that'd be great. I would like to see Craig Petty doing an interview with Danny. Craig Petty took down my video. I don't know if I like that. I think he took down all his rants, but I guess the interview with me was a part of the rant, so he took that one down. I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to watch it because I want to show somebody how hammered I was at the end of that particular interview. And he took it down, man. He took me down. So I thought initially, I'm like, wait a second, I'm the only interview that he took down. But no, he took down all the rants. He took down all his rants. And I was a rant. I was in the rant. I was the ultimate rant. So that's why. But for a second, I had for maybe 3 minutes, I had beef with Craig Petty mentally because of, I'm like, what did I do? What did I say? Why would he take me? Why would my interview? And then I realized all his rants were taken down. So that was fine. But for a second there, I was gonna make a magic rant video on like Craig Petty and go, listen, you took down my video, all right? And this Sunday, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you in the Magic Castle. We're gonna do it. We're gonna. I couldn't even pretend to make a. It's too early for a fake wrestling promo. I apologize for even alluding that. Again, I would have cut this bit off had I had the ability to edit these. It's just private. Ask him for the link. Yeah, I should, but I didn't care about it too much. I just wanted to show somebody the actual drunkenness that I possessed at the end of that stream. I was belligerent at the end of that. As I've realized, I like doing that. Anytime somebody wants to have an interview with me, which is weird. Hey, let's talk to you about Magic. I like to get hammered. I like to get a little bit trashed just because I think it's a more interesting interview if I'm a little bit inebriated. Would you consider doing a video demonstration for the differences between prostitutes pulling a tricks and you performing tricks? They're the same thing, right? And I would argue that prostitutes pulling tricks is probably more conducive to society than you doing tricks. So they're probably better in promoting the economy, in promoting life and happiness than you doing card tricks. I would argue that. And I'm pretty sure that it would be a good argument. I'm trying to find this one. Okay, so here's another one. I want to show you guys this because this is, we need to have strength in this month, right? As magicians, we already know that we already have it as hard as we can when it comes to life. And now they've added this No Nut November, and you're trying not to lose the game. It's a big game, but you're trying not to lose it, right? And this guy's clearly a magician because he holds strong. And this is what you should do. I don't care if you're married, if you've had a wife for 20 years, if you've been with a partner for, God knows how long. It's time that you just, put your hand on their face when they're trying to entice you and trying to be a succubi and trying to get you to fail this game. And this guy won. This guy won this game. And I already know he's a magician. I looked him up. And here's a prime example of what everybody should be doing when it comes to this particular month. So let's go to, I think it's this one right here. So hopefully you could see this. Maybe you could hear it. No, I took out the audio just in case. TikTok likes to use copyrighted audio, and I'm not a fan of that. So this is what I'm referring to. So we have a guy here. That's the end of the video, so it's kind of spoiling it. I fucked it up. This is a different video. I apologize. But let's go back to the beginning of the video. So that's what I'm talking about. Look at this. So she's giving him the eyes. Boom. What a king. What a king. That is pretty strong of him, I would say. Very empowering. A little bit misogynist, maybe, right? You could have somebody argue. Me, I'll argue because I'm a progressive, so I could argue that it's misogynist. But look at that. She gave him the eyes. She gave him the whole look, the whole vibe. And he said, no, I'm going to look the other way because fuck you. All right. You're trying to get me to break my sacred pact that I have with a bunch of internet dudes to not ejaculate in November. So what do you think? You're gonna attract me with your eyes and your little blinks there, huh? To kiss you in front of people in public? No, thank you, dog. Swerved. So we need to be like this, kings. We need to be like this guy. We need to be like this guy who's a magician. As I mentioned before, I looked it up. He's a fan of magic, as you could see by the fact that his conviction was so strong in denying that kiss, right? And that's only the conviction that you could have as a magician. That's from years of just not getting any. So you already build that strength up. So he had that. She was all up in his face. It's very easy to falter as that, and I understand. I would have gotten it if he failed in that particular endeavor. But because he's a magician, and I looked it up, and I know he's a magician, I know that he has the tools necessary. It's like a firewall. If any of you guys are a fan of computers, right? If any of you guys understand the lingo, right? When magicians we're different than normal people because we've built up an extra firewall. It's like having all the virus protectors, right? It's like my mom's phone. My mom has, first of all, 9,000 things happening at the same time. When she takes one picture, it's going to 12 different places. She has Norton. She has McAfee. She has like 12. She has antivirus things on her phone, right? So that's how I am when it comes to, as a magician, when it comes to shielding myself from the attempted affection of a woman. No, thank you. All right, boom. I'm in it for one thing, and that's my magic, and I'm preserving my virginity. Stay away from me, harlots. Stay away from me. So I have I have Norton and McAfee and Windows, and I even brought in the Mac antivirus protection, and everything is there, right? Anti-malware service. I'm all of that, right? It's like me right now that I'm vaccinated with all of them. So there's no way COVID's gonna get to me because I have all of them. I literally have the golden gauntlet of everything. So that's what this guy's doing, and you guys need to be strong. I'm so out of touch. The last thing I heard about was sprayed over her chest September. I think that was from the 60s. I think that was popular in the 60s, but we've gone past that, unfortunately. Let's see. You're thinking of Jizz Your Jeans January. Is there one for every month? Jizz Your Jeans January. There's Spray It on Her Chest September. There's Nonstop Nut November. You out of touch? They changed it. Okay, if they did change it, then yeah, it just proves how older I've gotten and how little I understand of the youth now. I'm disappointed I hadn't finished this rant video. They were better than his other videos. Oh, okay, you're talking about the one with me there. But yeah, we had a beef for like 3 minutes. We had a beef, and I was gonna have a whole rant and be like, "Dude, what? You took me down? What would you do? What would you?" Oh, because you took down all your rants. Okay. My dude, I gave up. I'm a magician who's also a programmer who also plays with knives. If I can score, anyone can. Okay. All right. But then, but you failed. You failed the art, I think, if you allow yourself to be tempted by a succubus. So you failed, man. You might have won to yourself, but I think to the overall society of us comers, I think you failed. Us male ejaculators, right? Let's be let's operationally define this. So I think you failed. You failed us as a whole. I'm not saying you're an a-hole, but I'm saying as a whole, you failed us. The first Dragon Slayer. I hope that played. Royce. Honestly. Documentary 10 years from now on Netflix. And here's the thing about that, right? Here's the worst part about having a documentary about my life when I inevitably carry out my manifesto, right? Imagine that most of these people that they get and you find and you watch these documentaries about these individuals that have had, these very morbid thoughts. They're not recording themselves on a day-to-day basis. Some of them have little videos. We had Elliot Rodger that he was the most fucking virgin of them all. He's the one that had all the viruses and anti-block and laid out for everyone, because he's out here in his Beamer. I think his BMW M3, having his Starbucks, talking into his iPhone, saying on how I don't have anything here. I'm poor. I don't have nothing. Women aren't attracted to me because all this stuff, and he's telling this to video. So he was the only one that would record himself. But most of these guys, they're not recording themselves on a day-to-day basis. Whereas look at the catalog of videos you have about me. Somebody can make an entire 10-minute compilation of things that I've said that are questionable, and could probably send that to any sort of FBI and say, hey, you should really watch that guy. So that's what's available with me. I'm different than the rest. So when it comes to that documentary Netflix, you're gonna have a lot of videos that you're gonna be able to see, and they're gonna go, oh yeah, this is the moment where I think his brain snapped here, precisely caught in 1080p and edited on Adobe Premiere Pro. Here's where we caught him. So I'm gonna have that on me. Most people are not gonna have that. So I think it's definitely gonna be an interesting documentary, and I'd love to see who they interview. I'd love to see who they pull and pick. It's a joke, by the way. This is a joke. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be a subject of a Netflix documentary because I decided to carry out my manifesto. Okay, that's a joke. Okay, so don't be, how things get, right? Eventually they say, oh, it's not a joke. If he jokes about it like 90 times, is it really a joke? If he jokes about it all the time, is it really something he's joking about? I don't think so. You better watch that guy. It's a joke. Okay. In China, some places you need a permit to have kitchen knives because some people be going into rampages with knives. Yeah, there's a back and forth in terms of jokes between like the UK and the States. The jokes about us and Americas is that we're going to school or we're going on the street and we're dodging bullets. We're just out here dodging bullets on the street. But then the joke from us to them is like there's a guy wearing a knife-proof vest and, he's getting stabbed nonstop. And all the people from UK are dropping money going, yes, I want that. So there's like a one of these, like a two interlocking highways passing by each other. And we get a lot of bullet jokes because I saw one the other day that I should have saved. It was walking to school in America, and this girl's walking on like thousands of bullet casings. Like it seemed like 100,000 bullet casings that this person was walking on, and that was funny. That was funny because, well, the meme or the joke is that our schools are you need a bulletproof vest in our schools. Kind of like the Bjork stalker who documented his whole story till he sent that package. I watched that the other day. I think Turner, the world's most bully mentalist, recommended that video, and the one he kills himself at the end. So that was morbid. I didn't like having a bowl of rice, corn, beans, and chicken and eating this. And then, he kills himself. Okay. That was a great thing to watch while eating. To be fair, you do have bulletproof backpacks for some reason. Yeah, we do have that. It's not regular. It's not normal, right? It's not like everyone has bulletproof backpacks, but they do exist here. So that could be an indicator as to that. If we consider the amount of times that you make the joke of changing some lives, we should be worried about the nearest mall. What's the nearest mall, right? I'm trying to think of what the actual nearest mall. It might be Dadeland Mall, which is a nice mall. So I remember going there as a youth, and what I love about malls back then that they don't have anymore is that they used to have these pits, these death pits, where the kids would just be thrown in there. And what I loved about being a kid is that you didn't have any sort of filter when it came to talking to other people. So now you're like, I don't want to talk to that person because I wonder what they think of me. I wonder what they're going to think of me. Whereas now, let me turn this. I realize this Royce thing has been on here the entire time. Let me turn that one off. I'm sorry. But they used to have these pits, and we would go in there and wrestle, and you'd wrestle with other kids, and you'd grab them, and then it'd be like this whole thing, and you'd be able to do that as a kid. You can't do that as an adult. Imagine doing the things that you took for granted as a kid, right? I know what I said. When you took for granted as a kid, and you do them as an adult, you can't do that. You can't just go up to people and be like, can I have some of your chips? I see kids do that all the time, like little kids. You can't do that as an adult without getting judged by some dumb bitch at a Starbucks. Officer, he was pretty quiet, but when he did talk and he inferred a rampage, he said he was joking. He was a funny guy. I like the past tense that you're talking. He was a funny guy. Here's something that kind of lets me know that we deserve everything, right? We deserve all the bad things. There was a concert a couple days ago, right? And this is it ties to magic, right? It ties to magic. I'm gonna tie it at the end of the particular segment. But Travis Scott is a rap artist that's popular here, I believe globally, and he had a concert where 8 people ended up dying in the concert for miscellaneous reasons. Trampling. There was some heart attacks. Oddly, there's a lot of a lot of different conflicting information coming out of it. But he had an event called Astroworld. Let's see if I could show this. And yeah, 8 people died, and he kept performing, which I think is a little bit, I would say, insensitive. And he kept performing. Hungry and Hungover says 11 people dead now. So let's just let's use the 11 number just because you said it. I haven't verified it, but that makes it sound better. But he was there performing. And here's the one video that really got me, right? So at some point, they're trying to put an ambulance through the crowd. And I think you have a picture here of an ambulance going through the crowd that I believe Kylie Jenner posted, right? So you have this crowd and you have this ambulance. And of course, what's the logical thing, right? What's the logical thing? Oh, shit, there's an ambulance. It's because something happened to someone and they need to get into that. And they need to, get the help as quickly as possible. That's what a normal person would think. And I was reading a post on Reddit saying on how, oh, people got trampled, and that's not the fault of the people that did the trampling. It's the fault of the organizers for having the event not be organized and have that be a possibility of what happened. No, it's everyone. It's everyone. It's a golden ratio of retardation. And let me show you exactly why, right? You see an ambulance. I see an ambulance here, and I move out of the way as a pedestrian. I'm like, oh, shit, let me make sure I'm not in any sort of, because I want that ambulance to go as fast and efficiently as possible. And then you have retards that see the ambulance, and they go, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump off that shit. And I don't know if you could see that because it's kind of quick, but that's a fellow right there. And people climbed on the ambulance. They jumped off. They're delaying the ambulance getting to where it needs to be. There's bodies apparently being handled, just like crowd surfing, trying to get them to safety. And people don't give a fuck. And the worst part is that on top of all this, he's still performing. He's still fucking performing. And he didn't stop the concert. He didn't say, hey, stop this and figure out all this, what's going on here. He just kept performing. And that's the part that I found a lesson to you as a magician, right? This is the lesson that you should have as a magician. It doesn't matter, right? Let's say you're doing like a nice little bit of an ambitious card trick, right? You're doing it in the street. Maybe you're recording some video, and you're in the middle of your tilt, right? You're in the middle of shoving that card supposedly in the middle of the deck, and some lady falls over. Well, she's selfish. The attention should be on you. It doesn't matter that she's having a heart attack and you might need to stop and figure out what's going on and maybe provide help, call the ambulance. No. Keep going with the trick. If you stop, you're degrading the arts. You're being an asshole for stopping, right? Because there are people invested in the trick. So you shouldn't worry about that person. You shouldn't worry about that person. You should worry about your trick. So this is what was taking place. It's a golden ratio of retardation. There are videos of people storming through the fence, and it's mostly kids, 18, younger, the younger ones that obviously don't give a shit or don't have the foresight to think that there are consequences to their actions. And of course, the venue wasn't prepared for this something like this. So yeah, it's a shit show. And what I do love is I love the part that really got me is when he didn't stop. Maybe he paused for like, I believe 3 to 4 minutes or something like that, but then he kept going. Crazy shit. But it shows you that I think we deserve everything. We deserve all the bad things that we got as a society. Just this video alone of this retard. I don't think there's a better term. But you have an ambulance, the logical thinking, right? You don't have to be taught this. This is something that's like innate in us. You see a thing with lights, and you see people, and you're trying to get out of the way. Instead, what do we have? We have these people jumping on, and I saw this all the time here in the beach because we had an influx of tourists because flights were cheap, and they're twerking on cop cars. There's ambulance trying to get people out of the thing, and they're jumping and twerking on the fucking ambulance, and I'm like, we deserve it. Anything we get, whether that's an asteroid, that comes, funny enough, the event's called Astroworld. So funnily enough, if we get an asteroid that hits us, we deserve it, because this is what we're doing as a society, right? And yeah, you might not be doing it, but look at the rest. Look at the masses here, right? So look at what they're doing. So that to me was just eye opening, and just more proof that anything bad that happens to us is something that we definitely deserve. The story is that he sold 100,000 tickets, and more people literally rushed up, but more people literally rushed past the security booth, and it was out of control. The cops didn't stop it, and this was the result. Sad, yeah, but it's this. I mean, I see the videos all the time of people rushing concerts and rushing through. I'm going to a festival in a month, but that's a beach one, and I don't think they're gonna do this. So, but these are famous last words, by the way, if something does happen, because I'm a short guy, right? If there's anybody that's gonna get trampled, it's this guy. But I'm also quick. I'm also quick and efficient on my feet. So try to catch me, right? Try to fucking catch me, dude. Try to get me so that you're gonna be able to step on me. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna end up on your shoulders like I'm fucking Goku, like it's Dragon Ball Z, like I'm in an anime. All right, so don't fuck with me. So I'm not going to be in a position where I'm going to get stomped on. When you have a big crowd in a small space, in the middle, people get stuck and not have room to expand their lungs to breathe. It's called crowd suffocation. And from what I was seeing, apparently people were trying to push through to get to the front, right, to get closer to, I guess, Travis Scott, who was performing there. And in that, obviously, what are you doing? You're just pushing and pushing and pushing. And eventually something's going to fall through. But there were people getting trampled. It also shows you the lack of care and lack of attention we have for life, where people are just stepping over bodies. And you have these morbid pictures of people with, getting trampled, and it's really a shitty thing. I unfortunately saw a couple that still have me not in a necessarily happy mood, but it shows you what we're capable of as a golden ratio retardation of a society. So let me go through these. Imagine dying in a concert, says Manel. Yeah, right. Imagine trying to, you're there, you're hyped, you're going to a concert, even though I would never go to a fucking Travis Scott concert, but you're there, you're not expecting to perish, and you go there, and because of the actions of others, because of the retardation of others, now you're the one that goes to the consequence, and you're the one that dies. Fuck. You'd be in a bathroom working the glory hole. You would be having different problems. We were talking about a glory hole yesterday. Well, I was at Daniel's house, and we were watching the fights. And what I love is that at Daniel's house, the average age of the people that came over to watch the fight was dead. Definitely all members of AARP, which apparently you don't have to be old to join AARP. You could be any age, from my understanding. But we're watching the UFC fight yesterday at Daniel's house, and it's he's hanging out. And here's the thing, right? I was telling Daniel, I'm like, look, I'm gonna go to your house, but if anybody tells me, hey, I'm gonna be at a bar drinking, or I'm gonna be at Applebee's, I'm gonna go, okay, I'm gonna go with that one. And he goes, dude, no, but we're getting, like, I have like a sauce. I made a sauce. So that was his way of trying to convince me to go to his house and watch the fight. And it was there with his uncles and mom, and it was kind of funny. It was funny because the average age of the people there was it's bad when you're the youngest in the crowd, right? When they're sucking on your youth. And I already consider myself to be aged. Masvidal wasn't even fighting. No, that's next month. That's next month, I believe, the 11th, where my twin, right, in terms of beard and hair. I don't wear snapback hats, though. He wears snapback hats. I refuse to wear snapback hats. I'm a fan of dad hats, right? Danny's a good cook. Yeah, that's because he's big, because Danny's a big guy. He asked me that we should go walking, which is a good thing. I walk every day now. I've been walking. I've lost a lot of weight walking, and not fucking eating trash. Even though I could eat trash from how much I'm walking and still being in a deficit. But when it comes to that, yeah, Danny's definitely a great cook. But if I'm trying to maintain my appearance and trying to lose weight, it's not a good combination. But he wants to walk now with me, so that's a good thing. Hopefully we could get that. How often do you eat Cubanos? Not often. Not super often. I do eat. I eat rice and beans on a day-to-day basis, which is the Cuban staples. But the way they cook it is very caloric, right? It's very caloric the way they cook it. So they have they put the rice, they cook it with the beans, they put some pork fat in there, like their Emerald Lagasse. They drop some oil. It's all fat. When you take the rice from the container, it's dripping in grease, right? So I'm trying to prevent that grease because even a little teaspoon of olive oil has way too much calories. The Gaethje Chandler fight was a goddamn war. Yeah. I thought that guy was gonna die, but he kept going. I hate Usman. I'm not a fan of Usman, and I hate that at the end, Covington was all like, "Dude, I respect you, man. It's all good, dude. Whatever it is, man. I'm shot." Fuck you. I hate Usman, but it was a good fight. It was a good fight. So that's that. Try hiking. The nature is good for mental health. Well, here's the thing about hiking here in Miami, Florida, right? The ground is as flat as anybody, right? It's as flat as flat could be. So there's no hiking. There's no nature here. It's an urban jungle, if you want to call it that. So, I mean, you could find different things, like you could go to parks, but there's no like woods. There's no. It's all flat. It's all just water and things like that. So they have different different place that you could go. That's nature like, but it's all man made. You're not. I can't just go to the woods. I'm gonna go to Sebastian though with Daniel on Wednesday. I'm gonna help him chop some trees down and uproot them. From Wednesday to Friday. So maybe the stream on Wednesday is going to be related to that. Maybe we're going to do one that's related to that, which now actually, so we're not going to do a ham radio like stream on Wednesday because I'm going to be in Sebastian. But I'll do a stream. Regardless. But yeah, so that's going to happen. So I could hike there. There's actually woods there that you could hide bodies in. Let's see the other one here. I apologize. I get sidetracked easily. But the other thing that I want to get through here is I've always recommended this guy, right? Kyle B is one of my favorite channels or accounts on TikTok. And actually, wait, hold up. This was one last thing to do with the Travis Scott concert, and it's this guy right here. So let me listen to this. So safety is important when it comes to concerts, obviously, and I think that there's no person that's safer than this particular individual. So let's look at an actual safe concert where nobody passed away.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched that. I've watched that so many times. It doesn't get old. It doesn't get old every time I watch that. It doesn't even begin to get old every time I see that. And the Let's Go, I'm gonna make that my ringtone. I thought I was gonna make the Royce. I thought I was gonna make that my ringtone. No, I'm gonna make the guy going "Let's go" with the least amount of energy as I've ever heard anyone. And yeah, I know there's obviously some sort of issues there, but it's still funny. And that's I've seen that video probably 100 times. But there's so Kyle B is my favorite TikTok magic account, right? And what he does, I've mentioned him before, is that whenever a magician puts out a video, right? A magician puts out a video and he goes, "Oh, here's this crazy trick," usually like a Kyle Marley type of guy. And he does a trick and he goes, "No, it's not this." Kyle B comes in there, takes his massive cock out and says, "No, this is how you're doing it. Stop lying. You're being an asshole." And it's one thing to do a trick. I apologize for that. That was gross. But it's one thing to do a trick, right? Obviously, you're lying by doing a magic trick. But there's another thing entirely by doing a trick and then just deliberately picking out the one comment that the method is not even remotely close to what it is, and then showing, it's obviously not this, because you're at that point you're just being a dick, right? So Kyle B comes in there and hits him hard. Now here's my issue, right? My issue with this one is that he did one for one that I don't think I could take back. I don't think he could take this one back because he hit on someone that I appreciate too much. He hit on our collective girl in the magic and cardistry community. And I don't think I could forgive Kyle B for what he did. So this is the video. Let me see. I got a transition here. Right? So let's see. I have to fucking play it like this so that it starts playing when I actually click it.
Do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed.
Hello. Thanks for holding my apple juice.
It's a fake deck. On one side it's all black, on the other side it looks like a real deck. Even the bottom is totally fake. The only thing real about it is the one card that's inside. You then close it up, pick up your card case, close that, and look, it disappeared. That's all it does. Bye.
They do you love.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, but he came after our girl, man, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I've mentioned this way too many times before, about my love for this particular individual, and he's now hitting her. So I'm no longer a fan of Kyle B just because he blasted our collective cardistry / magic girl, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. So all the love that I've given Kyle B and all of the good positive things I've said about him, I'm taking him back. I'm taking him back. I'm no longer, because why would you do this to Anna? Of all people, why would you expose her like that and show what she's doing and hit her with one of that? I get Kyle Marley, right? I get Kyle Marley. I get the other ones that he does, but this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Okay. Let's see. Yo, go look at Mikey. Go look at Mikey new TikTok. Who the fuck? What do I even look up? I don't want to, but I don't even know what I would look up. That's simping, Piggy. You made a video explaining. I'm not simping. All right, I'm not simping. This isn't a simp. All right, this is it's nature. It's human behavior. It's not simping. All right, simping would be something else. But I'm taking a stand, and I'm no longer a fan of Kyle B because he attacked our girl. He attacked our girl, guys. That's unacceptable. Oh damn, still not the old PigCake. I'm glad you changed your name. I'm glad you no longer go by your real name on the username, Long Dong Casey, just because of the whole investigation. That's great. Usman is the new GSP. He's not losing to any of the top 10 fighters. The only way he moves up is him and Adesanya are BFFs. Yeah, so there's a beef with that. I'm not a fan, man. I'm not a fan of him at all, but I hate how good he is. I hate how really good he is. So you can't deny that, especially when he knocked out Masvidal. Masvidal is like, oh, he's only ever been knocked out once, and that was like one of his first fights. Like, there's no way he's going to get knocked out fighting Usman. He gets knocked the fuck out fighting Usman. So that was unfortunate. Let's see here. Sorry. Your girl. Nah, I can't say that. All right. I don't think she could handle this, to be honest. Let's be fair. I don't think she could handle this. What I'm saying is, as a community, right? That Kyle B went after our girl as a community. That's our girl, and he went after her. So that's unacceptable. She can't handle me. Let's be honest. All right. There's a lot to handle here, and if she attempted it, she'd fail. She'd fail miserably. And I start feeling balls and shit. You heard me? Okay. All right. We got some weird ones here, but clip to YouTube. I want to see what it is that you're talking about. I thought you liked Shonda's magic. As I mentioned before, I think I'd rather make out with my mom than watch Shonda's magic, unironically. And I hate that whenever you look up magic tricks on TikTok, you look up specifically magic tricks on TikTok, the thing that comes up is him. He comes up and he's like, whoa, I got something for you. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something crazy. Let's see if I could replicate a Shonda's magic trick, right? I'm trying to find something that I could stick. Maybe if I stick my finger in the power socket, that might actually make me retarded enough to come up with a Shonda's magic-like card trick. But there's no thought process in it. There's no thought process, right? Like usually when it comes to videos, I have notes. I prepare. I have the last video that I did, I had notes. It was a nice little card to box. I'm like, okay, let me do all this stuff, right? But one of those videos takes 2 seconds. Hey, I'm going to do a card trick for the camera, and you're going to be behind me, and just react, right? React. We'll improvise. And then he does a shitty trick for the camera, and the person behind him goes, whoa, dude. Whoa. What was that? That's crazy, man. 10 out of 10. And that's the video. That's the fucking video. Yeah, I'm jealous. Isn't she taller than you, man? That doesn't style. Height is a construct. All right. Height is a social construct. Okay. Look at Kevin Hart. He's funny, and he has a taller woman. So just because you're short doesn't mean that you're incapable of nabbing someone that's taller than you. All right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, especially in a bed. Everyone's on a flat plane. So height doesn't matter. Now you can have her. I don't want anything. Wow, thank you for being you're too much of a simp. I'm not sorry, too much the opposite of a simp. Whatever that is. Whatever the polar opposite of a simp is. That's what you decide to carve your claymore in the dirt and go, "No. I will not simp for anyone. I will not simp for any woman." Girls appreciate short guys once they know you don't need to kneel. Yeah, I go up on women. That's the other benefit. I don't have to go down on anyone. I just go up on them.
Royce.
The Korean female magicians. Okay, you deleted that before I could fucking read that. It's not a viral magic video till you have some black man yell, "Blood of Jesus." Yeah, I had a whole video talking about that one in particular and how our collective minds are becoming more retarded because of TikTok and Instagram, and because our attention span is literally milliseconds now. It's no longer seconds. It used to be minutes, right? Your parents would tell you, "Don't watch TV. It's going to fry your brain." And we'd be there going through commercials, just watching television, right? Just apparently frying our brains. And that'd be minutes of attention that we would have on one thing on TV. Then social media came along and phones became more popular and our attention became, maybe a minute. Something could have our attention, maybe reading or something. Now it's literally your thumb. The attention that we have is your thumb going from this position to this position. Right? So rather this position to this position is how much attention we have as a society. So that's the part that fucks me. But so you have to have a black man yell "Blood of Jesus" in order to grab that attention from them and use that so that they could go, haha, like, and then maybe that could equate to you getting some sort of sponsorship deal if enough people do it. We're fucked. And you know what? The best example is that Travis Scott thing. As just an example, right? We have a sample size of between 50 and 100,000 people in an area. Yeah, it's skewed because it's certain types of people, right, that may have a fan or be a fan of certain kinds of music. So it's not really representative of society as a whole. But you see what it looks like, right? You see what it looks like. We have people trying to help people, and instead we have people jumping off the ambulance and being ignorant and retarded, as opposed to allowing for an influx of help to get to the people that need it. So that's, I think, representative of society as a whole. It only happened in that particular, the microcosm of that concert. But I think that's indicative and representative of the rest of society. Let me go through here and see if there's anything I skipped. It's in Dutch. I think you're talking about the "let's go." I hope that I'm not making fun of somebody that's, has a mental disorder, right? But that video alone, I think if you look at that video without any context, it's golden. It's golden, and I've probably seen it about 100 times since then. Is Roz in Applebee's Glory Story? Is RHOS in Applebee's Glory Story? I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're referring to, Joseph Jones. I don't know what you're talking about when you say that. But I unfortunately haven't been to Applebee's in a while. From my understanding, their deals when it comes to drinks are unmatched. You get a Long Island iced tea for like $6, and then they have specials where you get 2 for 1, or you have times where it's happy hour, so they give you more of that. But look, there's no Applebee's in my vicinity. There's a Fridays that I've gone to. Have you got a gift for Danny ready? His birthday's Tuesday, right? I think his birthday's in 2 weeks or a week and a half, maybe. And my gift to Daniel is my tolerance of him. That's my gift to him, is me tolerating him for longer than 5 minutes. That's a good gift to give anyone, right? And I think that's all I could give, because that's the best gift that he could get, right? Is my tolerance of him, because I can't imagine. I always say that he's married on a plea bargain. So I think mine is my gift to him is my presence alone. Long Island iced tea is the greatest drink ever. I disagree. But what's this? Hey, PigCake, you going watching it? What are you talking about? You told me to look up a TikTok video, and you didn't tell me what to look up. So I'm not gonna psychically pick up. I don't have my crystal charged, where that I could gather the information from the cosmos and manage to manifest that into the actual TikTok video that you want me to look up, clipped. But Long Island iced tea, I don't know. I haven't had a variant of Long Island iced tea and woken up the next day without a violent hangover. And that might just be because of my age. That might just be because I'm getting up there. And once you hit past 29, guess what happens? You're done. You're done. Your hangovers are days. It's no longer just a little bit. I get hungover now during drinking. It's not fun. Sorry if this wasn't answered a long time ago, but I'm a big fan. I haven't been. Is ham radio dead? No, ham radio's not dead. As a matter of fact, Daniel's staying here in the 305 for the next 2 months, so we're going to be doing some more there. And then when he goes back to his house, we're going to be doing it virtually. But he's been doing some other stuff and been busy trying to do some other stuff, so he hasn't really wanted to do it. And I'm like, you know what? That's good. That's good because I'm good. I'm fine without it. But he wants to do it, so we're still doing him. We're still doing them. And I think we're going to do one maybe this week, later on this week. New York, the biggest scam, a small room, like $500K rent. And that's rats everywhere, even an open day. You know what? Yeah, but that's everywhere. That's everywhere. Here in the 305, you'll get a shoebox. And they'll charge you $1,200 for a shoebox, essentially. And they'll go, no, but it's centrally located. It's in a nice area. And then if you step outside, you get shot. $1,200. It's like, all right, thank you for that. I think Miami is one of the most expensive cities for rent in the entirety of the States. But New York is unmatched. And I'll never forget being on a subway in New York and seeing an advertisement for I believe for not apartments, but like an app that lets you find apartments. And, when you use that, you want to use an example. If you're using an example, an advertisement, you want to use an example of something that people could relate to. Right, so you want to use an example that someone's going to look at and go, "Wow, that's a reasonable amount for an apartment. That's a reasonable amount of money. Wow, that's crazy. I should really use this app and see if I could, maybe find a good place." But no, the apartment that was listed as an example on this thing was $3,500 a month, and it made it seem like that was a good thing. Right, so it goes, so accept pets, check mark, centrally located, check mark, only $3,500 a month, check marked. That's not a good feature. That's not a good way to, only $3,500 a month. That's great. That's great. Kirk says Liberty City is cheap. Yeah, Liberty City is definitely cheap. I found rent for as little as $600, $650 a month in parts of Liberty City. Although the likelihood is that you're not going to be able to have that money for rent because it's probably going to be stolen by the time you have to pay rent. So, right, you have the pluses and minuses. Did Daniel move out of the 305? Yeah. He moved to the ass of Florida, also known as Sebastian, Florida, which I call Swingerville. I'm going to be going there for a couple days at the end of the week and seeing what the scene is like in Sebastian, Florida. But when I was there helping him move, it's swingers. It's a bunch of old retired veterans and swingers and murderers and serial killers. They're not serial killers, but people that live there killing their significant others. I just remembered you have a new version of the Outfield Lo-Fi on the email. Yeah, I'll check that out. As you can see, I used your first variant here at the pre-stream, right? The Outfield, the song that I decided to reveal my face in that particular video, which was a fun one. I remember shooting that with the Gentleman Wake and getting bitched at because of my inability to follow directions from a hardened cinematographer in Gentleman Wake. So that was a fun day. That was a weird day too. But I remember shooting he had a masterclass video for his gaff deck that I shot after that. That was a fun one. $300 a month with utilities, slabs, Sigma Mail grind set. Nice. Yeah. And then you also say Overtown then. We're just in Overtown a day ago, I think. We're just in Overtown. And man, let me tell you, Overtown is, I'm over it. I don't think that the people that live there are still enjoying it. Overtown is anytime you have a part of town that they call historic, you know that there's a high likelihood of you not leaving with your possessions on you, right? So anything that says, "Oh, this is historic," the historic part of town. I mean, it's historic for a reason, my friend. And they're trying to renovate it, right? So they paint it. But at that point, you're painting on a turd. But it's fun to go to, and it's also close to a nicer part called Wynwood, right, where you have all the hipsters and all the baddies. The baddies that think they're artistic and go and watch people paint. And fucking, I'm still upset at the stupid event that I went to 2 years ago. And I mentioned it on a live stream before. But it was this artist, and he was doing this thing called gravity painting, where you have paint, like a paint can on a string, and you have the canvas on the surface, and the canvas is on like a spinning Susan. And he's talking about how this really, he's some hipster shit. He was going through some hipster crazy shit, and he just lets the thing go. So all he does is that he spins the thing, and he lets go of the paint can on the string, and the paint can swings back and forth. And he got a round of applause for that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I overheard some girls going, oh my God, it's so cute. I'm like, what the fuck? Not doing anything. There's no talent in that. You spun it, and then you're just swinging the thing. And you had a 10-minute conversation beforehand as to how important it is. What? Are you crazy? Are you crazy right now, dude? So, but I think that's the stream. I think we've come to a good spot. I did this one early because I do need to do some things now. Unfortunately, responsibilities as an adult. I would love to live as a child and have no responsibilities, but I do have certain responsibilities. Carol City. I think the next one you're going to say is Miami Gardens. Miami Gardens, I think, used to be known as Carol City. So, formerly known as Carol City. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, all those are no-go zones, my friend. All those are no-go zones. But I'm glad you know the area. It seems like you're looking it up on, on Zillow. But that's a stream, guys. We're going to be doing one on Wednesday. I think it's going to be a driving stream. I'm going to Sebastian, which is a 2.5-hour trip. So I might decide to do a stream there on the way there. And I think that might be a little fun. And another thing that I've realized, I'm an idiot, right, when it comes to any sort of marketing. So on tomorrow, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to, at least twice a month, I'm going to upload like a free lesson from the academy, from the patron stuff. Because I need to realize that I need to advertise, right? I'm just not advertising as I should. So I'm just going to have like a free lesson twice a month or whatnot. And then hopefully that might inspire people to join the academy. But that's going to be tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is going to be a nice little variant on the invisible deck that I posted, I believe, yesterday. Right? Coral Springs High back in the day. Hey, boy, look at that. You went to a real school. I didn't go to a real school. I went to the equivalent of a school in a mini mall. But Coral Springs High, god damn. You definitely seen some shit. You're probably a veteran. I think you get veteran status from graduating from that school. But that's the stream. Thank you guys for joining. All right, thank you guys for watching this. And if you haven't watched it live, then you're missing out on some good back and forth. You're missing out on some banter, my friends. So hopefully see you in the next one. And as always, remember that Kamala Harris is a 6.8. She's a 6.8 out of 10.